Welcome back to Down Under the Mat podcast here in Madison Square Garage around the pool table of relevancy. To my left, Mr. Daniel Danielson. To my right, Roddy Reece. I am Booker Ted. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment on this video. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Down Under the Mat podcast. Here to talk all things wrestling. And this is a special episode where we're going to be talking all about Slam, Rage in the Cage at the National Convention Centre. As you can see by this first ever Slam replica belt.
Not for resale.
Not for resale.
Not for resale. We know what we got.
Trademarked by Slam. Do not hit us up for purchases. We are not selling any replicas. So yes, we're here to do a special episode all about the Slam event. And first of all, business is booming. Was that a bit loud for you, Dan?
No, that's fine.
That was okay? All right.
That's right. Are you going to take your glasses off here?
No, I want to leave them on.
Righto.
Please take them off.
Remember, you have to bench a fly.
I have to bench
a fly. And you can't find one that's already dead.
Oh, so I have to catch it first?
Yeah, you got to Mr. Miyagi.
Chopsticks? Oh,
Yeah, and then you got to bench the chopsticks.
Yeah, I'll take a walk then.
And then you got to one more rep. Wait, do that music for Jim Bro Jesse. It's been in my head the whole time.
Oh, for sure.
So, for those of you who don't know, Slam, Rage in a Cage happened this weekend, Saturday night at the National Convention Centre. And the most important thing, 1,713 people in attendance, which was a record. It is the biggest independent wrestling event in Australia since the 1970s. So, round of applause.
Oh,
for Slam.
absolutely fantastic, fellas.
Also, all Australian wrestlers.
They were all Australian wrestlers?
All Australian wrestlers on the card.
That's even better.
Look, it's absolutely fantastic that they had such a turnout. This thing's been on the cards since May. I think it was when we bought our tickets.
Yeah,
it was
first
all the way
of May
back
we
in
bought
May.
the tickets. Like,
So
that's dedication.
It's been a build-up
over
for a long
7
time.
months.
And man, I was so stoked for this whole event. Like we've been waiting and waiting and waiting.
Been itching for it.
And finally it turned up. And seriously, for those that were there, if you've seen any of the videos circulating online, you probably realise it was a banger of a night.
Yeah.
The crowd were really on too. All
Banger
1,700
after
people.
After banger.
After
Banger. And obviously we've been at many events, Southern Cross Club, ANZ Football Club, so this was much bigger than what we're used to. But you could hear it and you could feel it, that there was that size crowd in the arena. And it was set up in such a good way too that everyone had a really good view of the ring. There really wasn't any spots where nobody could see the action or what was going on. They had a bit more of an entranceway for the wrestlers to come in, which is kind of cool.
We got some pyrotechnics too.
Yeah, the sparklers.
Sparklers
Working overtime.
run out by the main event.
Yeah, man.
So congratulations again to Slam and all the wrestlers involved to be able to pull off such a
Everyone
great
involved
event.
in that. That's absolutely fantastic for Australia.
Well, I mean,
wrestling.
like we said, we've gone to a lot of these sort of Slam events before. We love the local wrestling scene. And when you have it at the smaller venues with 700-800 people, the crowd's pretty rowdy. And, we like to hurl compliments, I guess, at the wrestlers.
Encouragement. Moral support.
Got to hype them up somehow.
But when you're in those smaller venues in Woden and stuff, it's really loud and the atmosphere's pretty strong. I was really excited that when we were doing those same kind of chants here in this convention centre, we got the same reactions from the same kind of people that sit around the ring that are always there. But then the other 1,000 people that were up in the stands also started chanting with us, and it was just made that atmosphere so much better.
To think about. Usually the shows that we go to are around 400 people. So it had 3 times as many people on top of normal attendance.
And weren't you saying something about in terms of comparison of size compared to the TNA event coming up in...
TNA in Las Vegas is only projected to get, I think at this stage, they've got less than 1,000 tickets sold. Yeah. And that's for the 3rd, 4th most important wrestling company.
And in Las Vegas, of all places.
And in Vegas. That's crazy to think about. And little old Canberra, we pulled numbers like that.
Mate.
Love it, mate.
Canberra. You need to come to Canberra.
That's a special...
Wrestling. We're the wrestling capital.
Yeah, just don't talk to Ricky South about it first.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Did you hear some people talking about travelling?
I did, actually. I was very impressed with the fact that these people at the merch desk were talking to the guy behind the desk saying that they'd come all the way from Melbourne just to see the wrestling.
It's not bad.
So that's
putting in effort to come to Canberra from Melbourne. Usually it's the other way around.
Man of mine, he actually plays cricket with Hugh Beauty.
Oh, you have other mates?
Shut up. But his friend actually come from North Queensland.
Oh,
and like me, he's a fellow Dan Archer aficionado online. Likes to see a bit of answer to Dan. And he travelled down from
Little pokes.
So a couple of pokes, just a couple of
Wow.
lines here and there.
So like Townsville area, like that far north?
I didn't ask that many questions, but yeah, I did.
Rockhampton, Cairns.
Rocky.
Let's go, Bundaberg.
North Queensland, mate. It's all the same, apparently.
Well, look,
Somewhere north of Brisbane.
if you feel like you came from further than far north Queensland, let us know if you travelled far for the Slam event in Canberra.
Or even from Perth, if you're with Mikey
That's a
Broderick.
pretty fair distance.
That's a long distance.
We're going to be pulling that distance in February.
It's true.
Going to Perth.
But I mean, if you were in Perth last weekend, you'd be there close enough to see Marmy and Dom. So I don't know why.
I don't know why you would have left
travel
then.
anyway.
I mean, Slam was
in Canberra.
Go see Marmy. Oh, what a weekend.
Actually, funny thing, today when I was at work, I saw a post Shane from TMDK put up.
Yep.
All the different TMDK wrestlers around the world.
TMDK.
The mighty don't kneel.
He even posted a picture of Robbie Eagles, Slex,
And Mikey Broderick at Slam.
in front of the Slam banner. Like,
Robbie
to get
and
that
Slex,
sort of promotion.
They both
That's so-
retweeted it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they did. They
And I
did.
think that it's almost like at the same time, based off like Oceania to Asia and stuff like that. They all would have been about wrestling around the same time.
Yeah.
Love
Awesome
that.
stuff.
Love that.
No, look, and you know what? Thanks to the wrestlers, all the Australian wrestlers, thanks to Slam, thanks to the fans that all just travelled, even the locals that gave up their Saturday night to come check it out.
Yeah.
If anyone was there and if that was your first ever wrestling event, also comment and let us know what you thought of it.
Let us
Because
know.
I did see some videos posted up online with people saying their first ever wrestling show. So I tell you what, if that was your first ever wrestling show, you were super lucky, mate.
Mate.
You picked a bloody good one to start off your
Props to
wrestling
the
love
Slam
with.
board of directors for putting that show on.
Round of applause again. Round of applause. Absolutely awesome. We'll go through as well and talk about all the matches. We'll go through match by match and talk a bit more in depth. I mean, first of all, there was 3 title defenses. Well, not defenses, but 3 title matches on for the evening. So first of all,
Stuff, mate.
that's super exciting. But to start off the night, we had Slex the Business versus Tommy Knight. Now, no pressure.
Are we going to harmonise?
Business is...
No. Big, meaty men
Slapping men meat.
There we go.
There we go.
A half worked.
We'll try that again. I didn't know what we're trying to
I was
synchronise.
confused too, but it's alright.
come
We got
on.
there. We got there.
Slapping man meat. Sorry.
Ow.
I don't.
Have you been going to the gym?
No.
He's the opposite of Samson. He loses his hair. And he
Oh,
gets
I'm
soft.
not. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I had a video come up for like Facebook memories from like 5 years ago when I was on my fitness
Yeah.
thing, and
45 G.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I'm way too lazy to go back to that.
Yeah.
But look, very big shoes to fill to open a match for the record-breaking crowd for Slam, but Slex and Tommy Knight
Oh.
put on a hell of a match.
They pulled it off.
And considering they really didn't have much build up to it, there was no story or build up to this. I believe it's the first time we've seen them actually wrestle each other at Slam
In a one-on-one match.
in a one-on-one match. Yeah.
They
They would have
tag
had
team,
interactions with in the Rumbles and Battle Royals,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff. But
but they're a tag team in Melbourne.
Yes.
Big business, so they know each other really well. So that's probably why they got to tell the
name's
story.
perfect. That name is perfect.
Big business.
Big business, right?
Big
Well,
business is booming.
and you pointed this out when we were there. Obviously, the fact that Slex pointed to Tommy Knight and said, I'm going to slam you.
Well,
I'm going to power slam you. It's going down. And
Good storytelling.
he obviously went for it. Couldn't lift him.
no.
Because Tommy Knight's a big boy.
And then he went for it again, and he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. But the third time,
Third time's the charm.
Got him.
he did it.
Got him.
And Slex got the win. But look, it was
Don't
just...
worry, I won't say it this time.
Look,
Man, me.
look, it's a big job. Number one, to open the night. Number two, to have a match with no initial storyline. You got to build a story up in it to begin with.
Yeah.
And they killed it. They absolutely started off perfectly. It was a pretty slow match to begin with, but they paced it really, really well to
Yeah.
make sure the crowd was interested all the way, and while also pumping the crowd up, ready for the rest of the night.
With that, one thing I'll comment on that, and I think Slam, when you're watching, you probably need to get a bit more crowd interaction before the event starts. Because for me, the wrestlers, they did a really good job getting everyone involved, but it's kind of like counted down to 10, and then the guy walked out and goes, the following contest is for 1 fall, and they just went straight into it.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen a bit more like, are you ready? Is this side ready? Is that side ready? Everyone get pumped up. Like
Yeah.
a bit more crowd to get us really riled up before the match started. It kind of just felt like it's
jumped.
Do you know someone who's really good at talking and just talking crap and hyping up a crowd? And
I mean, there's a couple of people I know that know a lot about wrestling, good with microphones.
I'm looking at you, Reece.
I do know a lot about wrestling.
Yeah,
You too, mate. You're the wrestling brain.
it's not a blight on the event, but
No.
I think to make it that little bit better, turn the audio down a smidge. It was very, very loud.
Please, just a little. I go to concerts enough. I don't.
And just
My
maybe
hearing's
a bit
damaged,
more
Jason.
crowd interaction from Sweet Pete is the guy that does the announcements and stuff.
No. That's
Who picks the announcer? Like,
Lawson, the law. He's the law Lawson.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just a bit more interaction, I guess.
Yeah.
Would sort of perk up the
Okay.
for the matches. 'Cause
Okay, interesting.
The wrestlers are really good at getting it done themselves.
Yeah.
And I think the promo videos that Slam put together with the stuff they put on their Facebook and stuff is also really good.
You just like to see it at the event.
It works better live.
let's turn it up to Bruce Buffer stats.
Oh,
Is that too much?
hang
That's
on.
too
We,
much?
Too far.
we know what happens when someone tries to emulate that person. You boys just give them crap because you're
I'm
jealous of
not
their
talking about
of their
Justin
skill.
Roberts at all here.
No,
Jed.
So-
we're here to talk about good things, so he doesn't make the
So
list.
Slex got the win.
Well, how would he announce Slex?
Soleil!
Maybe the big business is boom, boom, boom.
Anyway,
Moving on.
Slex got the win. Leave Justin Roberts alone. Slex got the win. We went on to the next match, which was your mate,
My mate, yep.
Robbie Eagles, Australia's indie darling.
Number one,
The Limerick.
Robbie Eagles fan over here.
Yeah, he is. He actually
I think
is.
I'm like number 6. There's
Oh,
a mailing
Number
list.
6.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Mailing
You've stalked
list.
him a little bit in this last year. You've seen him. How many times have you seen him wrestle?
What if Robbie watches
3
this?
times,
He's
yeah.
not going to like Dan
Sorry.
anymore.
That's 2 more than me.
Yeah, well, okay.
One more? No, one.
No, because he wrestled twice at Slam.
Yeah.
Because he beat...
Well, this was his second match of Slam because he
Also
wrestled-
saw him at Knotfest too.
I did see him in Northfest. All right, so 3 times. Okay, 4 times. All right, fair enough. I forgot.
Yeah, there you go. You.
What a
Sorry.
creep.
He's
What
a
a
creeper.
creep.
What a creeper. Anyway, he was wrestling Dan Archer, Canberra's best heel,
Oh, easily.
Australia's best heel?
who's now jacked. Mate,
Jacked.
I don't know. Him and AJ Styles have been on the phone together sharing.
You've been sharing workout regimes?
Yeah, it's the Randy Orton diet.
Yeah.
Look, he's looking good, mate. He when we got photos with him all afterwards, and I stood next to him, I realised how big Dan Archer actually is, and I recall someone saying, "I saw Dan Archer at Tuggeron today. I reckon I could take him."
I don't remember this happening. I have no memory of this.
I previously retracted all my statements.
Yes, please don't hurt me, Dan.
Well, look, we give Dan Archer a lot of crap on social media, and he does so well as a heel. He gives it back just as well as he takes it. And he thoroughly deserved to have this match against Robbie Eagles because he's had some great matches.
He's definitely been putting in the hard yards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last
he's
12
dead set.
months.
He's got to be 5-10 kilos bigger than he was 12 months ago.
Yeah, he's
Like,
killing it.
He's doing a real good job in the gym.
And they put on a hell of a match. They
Oh,
put on
yeah.
a hell of a match.
Yep.
Some absolutely amazing spots, like typical Robbie Eagles, high-flying stuff. But Dan Archer was really selling those moves well and also played like the powerhouse role quite well
Yeah.
in the whole match.
I love Dan's heel work where he always and it works really well in the smaller venues where like he tells the whole crowd, shh.
I
Need
need
absolute
silence.
That always gets the
And then
crowd
it's just
yelling.
like boo. Chorus
Works-
of boos.
Works perfectly. And when he squeals, when he gets a big slap or something.
I haven't
it's
noticed
so
it that
loud.
much lately, but I absolutely love
I
when he does
couldn't
that.
hear
It's
it.
so funny.
The crowd was just...
Oh, the crowd was on, man. They were just chanting and cheering and getting into it. So
Yeah, his heel work is fantastic. I think there's a couple of really, really good spots in this match that I think they both put a lot of work into.
okay.
Specifically, my favourite spot from the match.
Yes.
Was it the
was
finish?
I popped real hard. Not for the finish. I popped real hard when Dan Archer hit Robbie with the blue thunderbolt.
Yes.
Love that move, but it never wins.
It never wins as a
Come on, Dan.
standalone move, Dan.
Come on, Dan.
Smart
You
watch
watch
know
more wrestling
that.
than we do, surely.
Well, look, there was also the move where Robbie did the springboard off the top rope, drop kick into Dan Archer's knee, which is he'd been working on all match.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the sell and the flip from Dan Archer from that drop kick was absolutely
Selling the
fantastic.
impact.
And then we went
This
to
makes it so much better.
We went to the finish, which was the 450 splash by Robbie Eagles
Yep, on the
off
leg.
the top rope, off the turnbuckle, onto the leg,
Into
the
The Ron Miller special.
Ron
Ron
Miller
Miller
special.
Now,
And we got to see Dan Archer tap.
Yes.
where did that come from? We're going to need a source of inspiration, Robbie, if you're watching.
Yeah, tell us where it came from.
Yeah.
I
Just
Maybe
tweet us.
we should do our research.
What do we look like? A journalistic wrestling podcast? Yes, we do. Hang on.
Like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Instagram. Down under the mat. Look, it was an awesome match. I think we were all looking forward to it. We're all big fans of Robbie Eagles. We know how good he is. We also, we don't like to admit this normally, but we are fans of Dan Archer. Met his mum too. She's lovely.
She is really nice.
Can't remember her name, but
She was in line behind us when so we got this sign that I drew, right, for snipers beat archers. And we took it. Robbie loved it. He had a photo with my son standing next to the ring.
Oh, I didn't realise you got it signed by Dan Archer.
he signed it. Legend.
Did it take a little bit of effort to get that done?
Dan looked at it and he goes, I'm not signing this. And my 10-year-old just looked at him and was like, "Aw," and he's like, "All right, fine."
He gave in.
And his mum was behind us in the line. She's like, "You probably should just sign it, Dan."
Oh, the heel top
Thanks,
off by
Dan's
his mum. So then after that match,
Before you move on,
oh, yeah,
I have
sorry.
done the journalistic wrestling
Here we go.
podcast stuff. Ron Miller was a from Hal Morgan's top pro wrestling promotion in Sydney. He was a wrestler for 20 years.
Oh,
From the 60s to the 80s.
there you go.
Finishing move, the reverse figure 4 leg lock.
The Ron Miller special.
The Ron Miller special.
Well, there you go.
Thanks for that.
It's not just some weird made-up move like that shining wizard.
The show that was a real thing.
Ted, do you really want to embarrass yourself on this?
I haven't embarrassed
podcast?
myself at all, mate. I didn't call out and say I'd beat Dan Archer in a fight. So
Ron Miller wrestled Harley Race for the WCW or World Championship Wrestling title in 1977.
Get out of here! What?
There you go.
put some respect to Ron Miller's name.
There you go.
There you go, man.
The more you learn about local wrestling.
Maybe we should actually just do some
Love it,
research. So we're on to our first title match of the
third match of the
evening.
night.
So this was for the Slam Tag Team titles, which were held by the Natural Classics,
My
defending
favourites.
against the Velocities. Now, for those of you who might not know or might not remember, the inaugural tag team title match was actually also between these teams. And obviously, the Natural Classics got the win last time after some very, very heelish moves.
Natural Classics also got the win against them at the Impact Down Under show.
Oh, so Velocities were out
So
for
they're
some
up.
redemption.
This was it wasn't even the rubber match, technically, because Classics had already won against them twice, but got to go.
But when the titles are on the line, man, doesn't matter, right?
go for
Doesn't
that
matter how many you
three-peat.
lost before. If you held the titles now,
Yeah.
And I got to watch the Velocities have a warm-up match last couple of weeks ago in PWA in Sydney.
yeah,
They had a heavyweight title match against Jessica Troy
yeah, right.
in a triple threat match, so technically a 2-on-1 as a tag team, and they lost to her. So
Guys, what are you doing?
she's probably one of the best wrestlers in Australia at the moment.
Well,
gotta
the
be.
good thing,
Yeah,
the
but-
good thing is
Trust the
Slam,
Velocities.
get her down here.
the good thing is the Velocities got their redemption.
They did.
They are the new Slam Tag Team champions, and I'm just going to put it out there. This was one of my favourite matches of the night, if not the favourite.
I got
I
to admit,
was loving this whole match from start to finish.
as much as I've been a big fan of Natural Classics and kind of throwing shade at the Velocities because, I get tired of that whole like small guy underdogs sort of stuff.
They're very good at the hot tag.
They're so good at it and they deserve their props. They deserve these championships. I'll come out and I'll
Look,
say.
the amount of spots that were in this match where it all went so smoothly. Like it was a dance from start to finish. It really was. And like the end, the build up to the finish with the running between the
that's so
turnbuckles,
good.
the reversals.
I didn't even know what to call it. I just put Ring of Rosie type spots.
Yeah, ring around the rosy is probably the best
Because it
way
was
to
just
put
like they were going to throw each other into the other turnbuckle and they did the linking of the arms and spun around and then
Yeah.
the guys came out of the corner and it's just immaculate. I've never seen anything executed so flawlessly in my life.
They did that spot really well, and it was timed to perfection
Yeah.
the way they did that.
No, it
So-
really, really was. As I said, it was probably close to being my absolute favourite match of the night. Like the whole match just went so
Definitely.
well. And yeah, Velocities are your new Slam Tag Team champions, so we look forward to seeing them coming back and wrestling again in Canberra and defending. I think some of the teams we mentioned that we'd like to see them potentially defend against, Joker and the Thief,
Yep.
Yep. Mick Meridian,
Jimmy Townsend.
Jimmy Townsend.
Thank you.
Who else?
Big Business.
Big Business.
Big Business,
Could be
mate.
up for it. So yeah.
What about
Maybe Robbie can bring one of his Team DK boys down.
Yeah.
Team DK.
Could him and Mikey potentially?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That would be a hell of a team.
Caveman Ugg, Genghis Khan?
Oh,
Come on,
ugh,
man.
ugh, 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 ugh.
Maybe our mate Lee Morrow and Hugh Beauty. Big Aussie team.
Mate,
Or
yeah.
Gaza?
Or Jazza.
Gaza!
Yes, mate.
Mate, any of those Aussie icons.
Look, we look forward to it. There's plenty of potential for great tag team matches there with the Velocity, so we're looking forward to that. And congratulations on their first
deserved.
tag team titles at Slam.
Well deserved.
So, before the intermission, there was one more match. And this match,
Big one.
This was the big one for Canberra as a whole.
emotionally driven, because this was the no disqualification match. Originally was billed as Crofty versus Vinnie Bronson. But then when they made it no disqualification, Vinnie Bronson's mate Josh from Ned and Josh's podcast,
Wasn't he on the radio?
he was at
We
the
don't
radio
talk
at some
about
Can we
point,
talk about the radio?
figured out that because it was no disqualification, it was pretty much a 2-on-1 match.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Bronson United.
Bronson United, correct. And when they came out, it was quite obvious what they were going to do, because Josh
Josh had some gear on.
sporting his new red tights and
pads.
his Vinnie Bronson United singlet. So he was ready for action.
He was.
Was old Josh. And then Crofty obviously came out to a massive reception. For those of you who don't know who Crofty is, 23-year veteran Canberra wrestler.
Yeah.
Absolute legend in Canberra and Australian wrestling in general. Most people in
Canberra
Australia.
klepto.
The Canberra klepto. Now this match, the stipulation,
Canberra, born and raised here, man.
the reason it was so emotionally driven was because the loser had to leave Slam. So if Vinny and Josh lost, Josh would have to leave and go off to his podcast and just podcast forever. But
What a
if
shame that would be.
Vinny was to win,
Yeah.
Crofty would have to
Retire.
leave Slam, and well, not necessarily.
Oh,
He never
yeah,
said
actually,
retire. He just said
good
leave
point.
Slam. So, but that's pretty sad, because obviously Slam being the Canberra one.
Yeah.
Now, this obviously being a no disqualification match, it didn't take long before the weapons came out. We saw
We got a chair.
chairs.
Yeah.
We saw
Big
tables.
I thought what was funny, right, was that was it you that started chanting, "We want tables," and Ted goes, "Shut up! We get angry at everybody that does that at the start of the match."
Yeah.
And literally within 5 minutes, he got tables.
He had a table out.
Straight away.
We have mentioned it before, right? Because you
Mate,
have
this is Canberra. We use
see-
it differently here.
You see it on the TV where the crowds are chanting, "We want tables," like a minute in, and you're like, "Shut up! Let them cook!
Yeah.
Let them cook!" But no, look, it was a no disqualification match, so bring out the tables, and they did come out. We had ladders as well.
we
That
had
ladder
trash
spot
can.
with Vinny. Oh, he took that hard.
He did. He
Hard
did.
bump.
But the trash can in the corner
Yep.
that Josh and Vinny threw Crofty headfirst into that bin, and Morgan, I'll
I've
find
got
the
a
photo and
stellar
put it up.
photo.
She somehow got the photo of the exact moment that Crofty hit that trash
Head
can.
just goes,
Oh, dude.
And the
he took
can
it.
just compacts,
Yeah.
wraps around his head. It looks fantastic.
They Slam put up
Put it right here.
Slam put up the video, or at least the highlighted video of this match, which I watched again this
Yeah.
morning. Some of the spots are really cool. The spot where they end up putting Crofty through the table. So they had
Yeah.
2 tables set up on
Those
the
were
side.
thick tables too.
He went through the first one. And
Yeah.
I think his head possibly hit the second one. And nothing happened.
Yeah.
Crumble. That was a bad spot. Like,
Yeah.
that hurt. And then
Would've
Josh
got
got
some-
thrown out the ring.
Yeah, and landed on his face. Poor guy.
Are you sure you're all right, mate? You sure?
Hopefully he's okay.
He'll be okay. Thankfully,
At least
he
he's
doesn't have to do
podcasting
a-
now, hey?
Yeah, video podcast.
Look, I mean, when you go hitting Crofty in the back with a chair and then a crutch,
Yeah.
probably going to happen. But look, props to him, man, because he is not a trained wrestler, and he went out there and he got involved in the match quite heavily. Good on you for doing that,
He
mate,
sold-
and entertaining us.
I believe it was the Winona Rider driver.
Yes, the Winona Rider driver.
Sold that really well.
He did. He did. And props for him for taking that too, man. That's,
That's a big move to take.
But the big news of the match was that Vinnie Bronson was able to get Crofty into a crossface,
The London Eye.
the London Eye. And Crofty was not tapping, but was fading. The referee checked his arm once, hit the mat. Checked his arm twice, hit the mat. Third time, hovered right above the mat. And then Crofty passed out. Referee called for the bell. Vinny,
And all of our hearts collectively broke.
as we realised that the Canberra legend Crofty had lost the match, therefore must leave Slam. And he got the farewell that he very thoroughly deserved,
Yeah.
the thank you Crofty chants. He stood in the middle of the ring. I don't know how he held himself together. You could see that. I mean, and tell you what a way to go out in front of that record crowd.
Yeah.
Like that, couldn't have picked a better time. And you know, people like Crofty that have been wrestling for 23 years, I guarantee you there would have been points where he probably wrestled in front of 20, 30 people in Canberra. And if it wasn't for people like Crofty sticking to it for all that time, we wouldn't have the slam and wrestling that we have today. So thank you, Crofty.
Yeah. Also,
we really, really do mean that.
Crofty was the CPW heavyweight champion from 2003 to 2005. 560-day title.
There you go.
So, like, he is
Legend.
Absolutely stellar.
He has been wrestling a long time, like we've said, and
He
he's
has.
been at the top level of Australian wrestling for a long time.
Yeah, and good on
He
you.
was always a very prominent figure when I was growing up. But
Everybody
sorry to
loves
make you
Crofty.
feel old, mate, if you watch this at some point.
No, well, he said that himself afterwards when I had a quick chat with him and said, because the first ever match in Canberra I saw was probably about 13 years ago or so.
Yeah.
And I remember Crofty was in the main event and won the title. I think it was for PWA when they were in Canberra at the
Would
time.
it be AWE?
AWE, there we go. I remember him winning that. And he even said, when I said, that was about 13 years ago, he said, I've been wrestling longer than that. So he is very well aware of how old he is. But he stood in the middle of the ring. He took off his flannelette singlet, left it in the ring. We all did our best to hold back a tear.
Yeah.
And that was it for Crofty. So it is a bit of a shame we aren't going to see him at Slam anymore.
Excellent way to go out, though.
But you did mention an idea that I really like.
Did I? I had a good idea for once, did I?
Commissioner Crofty.
Commissioner Crofty, mate.
Yeah, even a broken clocks.
Get him a tie.
Twice.
Get him a tie with the flannelette singlet.
Very good foley of him.
that flawlessly, Dan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I reckon that'd be a really good idea because I mean I like the Slam board of directors
Yeah.
and they keep
Yeah, you
using
can have a
that
face to that.
exactly.
Yes.
They don't have a face to it right now. It's very much that I'll go talk to the Slam board of directors and then something just magically gets booked from a video package that shows up on the screen.
Yeah.
If Crofty comes out and
Mate, that would be Mick Foley level
Absolutely.
of like when he was commissioner, and you know
100%.
everyone loves Crofty.
That's where I got my inspiration.
There we go.
and then when Vinnie Bronson
it.
doesn't agree to it and Josh gets messy in the match and then Crofty just
Also,
drops him with a Croft drop.
Mentioning your comment from earlier, featuring all Australian wrestlers, are you sure Vinny's Australian?
He's from Canberra, yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll shut up.
What a muppet!
No, I was just like,
I mean,
he's got a
he's
good
got
accent.
the big accent, bruv, but he's not from
Putting it on,
overseas.
though.
Look, board of directors, make it happen. We want to see Commissioner Crofty. We then went to the intermission where everyone headed off to the bar and
what
to
a
the
lot
toilet.
that was.
And they got stuck in the lines for 20 minutes.
I unfortunately missed probably the first 5 minutes of the next match.
Well, and that was one of the sad things, unfortunately, was that this match was for the inaugural Women's Slam Championship, which was between Kingsley and Jimbro Jesse. And it was a great match, but there
Bench
was a
B,
little
bro.
bit of delay with people coming back because obviously the lines to the bar and the toilet were quite long.
Yeah.
So there's probably a good 5 minutes or so of the first part of the match where not everyone was in the arena again, but they all got back and I think most were there for the finish. And the match itself, great match, but Kingsley, I think we all agreed, thoroughly deserves to be the inaugural champion. She's wrestled multiple times. Pinkies up. Acknowledge our tea maker.
queen.
A tea queen.
Our tea queen. She's thoroughly deserves it. She's been coming to Slam for a while now and had multiple matches there, and she always puts on a good show.
Yep. I mean, I said that PWA event a couple of weeks ago. I saw her in a four-way tag team match with the Backslide Girls.
Yeah.
Putting in good effort in that match too. Like, she travels around. She's really good with her character. She sticks to it. I love the spot. I think they did the same spot in their first match where they went... Oh, the first match, Kingsley drank the pre-trainer and Jimbo got the tea. This time they kind of switched it around again. She got the tea to the
Did
face.
their actual spots.
Yeah. But that's a
win.
good spot. Like,
Yeah.
if you're coming out to the match with a prop and that part of your character is like King, like she's the T, right? And Jim Bro Jesse's all about the pre-train. Like, using those in the match, weaving it into the story is really smart.
And I am looking forward to a redemption story for Jimbro Jesse in 2024 when she goes back. Because if she can get that muscle buster that she was going for out of the corner, I reckon that could have gotten the win. So,
1, 2, 3.
Line up Lena Cross, line up Jessica Troy, get them down.
get them over here. Get to Slam. Come and wrestle. We want to see you all
We
take
see
on
her do a
Kingsley.
double muscle buster.
I reckon she could do it.
Jim Bro, there's a challenge for you at
let's-
some stage.
Slam board of directors, throw Jim Bro in the Rumble.
Oh,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Get it done.
We need to do an official request to the Slam Board of Directors for that one.
Yeah, all right.
Put an inquiry in, along with our other inquiry, which we will talk about soon.
It's going to come up because
it's
there
the
was
next
something that
match, so we're
thoroughly
gonna get on
upset me, and it was in the next match, which was the gimmick match, I guess, of the night. The Terry Campese.
In a way, yeah.
The Terry Campese over the top rope,
Yep.
Battle Royal. We were all very much
Don't we
looking
love
forward
it,
to
that
this.
Royal?
We do.
And Dan, can you take us through all the entrants that we had for the Terry
I'll run through the
Campese?
entrance for everybody. So was it before the Rumble?
It was. We had Victor and Valda, the from the greatest NRL team, up the milk. The mascots from the greatest NRL team
Love it.
came out to the Viking clap.
Yeah.
They
Only
came
clap
out.
you're getting in Canberra, mate.
Help.
Because it's not from a crowd.
That's not
'cause the
true.
Raiders
We
suck.
have universities here, mate.
Move
So
on.
they were ringside enforcers, I guess you could call it.
They were
Yeah.
going to piss Rig off, to be fair.
Yeah, and deserves it
Like a
too.
rig.
So there you go. That was one of the entrants was Rig.
All right.
What were the other entrants that we
Jimmy
had?
Townsend.
Yes.
The Tuckman.
The Tuckman.
Tuckman's Bush.
Genghis Kong.
Genghis Kong, yes.
Hugh Beauty.
Hugh Beauty.
Dazza. Your mate.
Mate. Everyone's mate.
Lee Morrow, the Australian hero.
Yes.
Oh, I gotta love me.
Your son's mate.
My son's mate. King Vance.
Yes.
Signed Lee flag. Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's his signed flag,
And
actually.
that's his study course. Yeah. We love merch. It's great.
Oh,
Dan Archer.
Dan Archer double dipping.
Hobbling out for his second attempt.
props to him for pulling on double effort.
Yeah, no, he's right.
Yeah.
He's already setting up his, spoiler alert, setting up his match for the next one.
Yeah, very true.
There's a nice spot in this Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Gun.
Yes.
S-
Oh, no.
the last.
We will, because that's what we need to talk about.
Jourdain Locke.
Yes.
E10.
Good up and comers here.
Cyclone Junior.
Cyclone Junior,
Proper
legend.
chance This time, I think his ring gear was probably stitched together this time. It looked a little bit better.
Hey, man, you put some respect on Cyclone Junior.
Oh, no, I'm saying he looked better than the last
He
time.
won the Slam Academy Championship
Yes,
Battle Royal.
he did.
Yeah, he did.
Put some respect on
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah, and he tried to throw somebody out and failed miserably at it.
Oh, jeez.
Skull, our mates in front of
Skull.
us, big shields.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Grand UK,
Yes.
Randy Chambers, Jay Sorbet. Weird one that I wasn't sure of was the Goblin Kid.
Look out for the Goblin Kid.
Gotta say it was a bit interesting. Let's let it cook.
Let's see how it plays.
Let him
Let's
cook, yeah.
Okay, all right. Ricky South.
Boo.
Boo, Ricky South. Rig. Boo, Rig.
Came out in his
Like,
Newcastle Knights
Get a
jersey
Knights jersey.
in front of Victor and Valda. How dare he?
He was angry at them too.
I loved how, I don't know if you saw, but Victor, when he came out doing the...
Oh, did he?
There you go.
Scandalous.
Which is a bit hard because the last time we played, we lost against the Knights in the final.
Shh, they don't need to know that.
Don't worry about the Raiders.
They don't need to know that.
And the last entrant, it's the Terry Gambesi Invitational. 10,000
Our
over the
newest
top
hero.
Battle Royale.
The hero that we need but do not deserve, and that is Slamu! A whole 180 kilos
What a
of
legend.
Slamu. What was it they called him? The something from the deep. I don't know.
The Beast from the
The
Deep.
beast from the deep.
I don't know.
something
That
like
sounds kind of cool.
But
It wasn't that changing.
Slamu got the biggest cheer out of any entrant.
Oh, we were chanting his name before he even got in the ring.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing we need to bring up with the Slam Board of Directors. There was a conspiracy
Collusion.
and collusion against Slamu because he got in the ring
Disrespect.
and all the other wrestlers 100% colluded before the match and got together and said, we're going to
They
eliminate
targeted him.
Slamu first, which is what happened. We were robbed of seeing Slamu be crowned the inaugural winner of the Terry Campese over the top battle royal.
I have never seen such blatant fat shaming in my life.
It's terrible. We want to see Slamu back.
We need an
3
idol.
minutes ago. Jerk.
Yeah, that's true, actually. A bit hypocritical of you, mate.
Yeah.
What? You were teasing Dan before.
Very nice.
It's okay, bro. I'm your friend.
Thanks, man.
It's all right.
Appreciate it.
Anyway, we want to see Slamu again. But onto the actual battle royal itself. This match was great fun. There were so many people in the ring. There were times where it was hard to see who was being eliminated, but it was such great fun. And
They're here to get you, Reece.
yeah, they are. They're coming for you for fat shaming.
They heard me.
They're coming for you, bro.
they stopped at the front, didn't
The
they?
sirens stopped right out the front, mate. Look out. If you hear a window crashing and us hitting the floor, that's it. We're out of here.
The police are here.
So look,
Yeah.
there was a lot of great spots in the match. As you said, we got to see Tuckman eliminating Dan Archer, which also got a
I
massive
think
cheer.
I can't remember who Archer eliminated. He eliminated somebody, and then gloated across the ropes like, suck it.
And then out he went.
What?
Out he went.
That great yeet
Got him.
Rumble spot.
But obviously, the most important bit of any battle royal or rumble that we talk about was down to the final entrance, and we got to the
There
final
was
four.
who was there was
Lee Morrow.
Dazza.
Yeah, Dazza was there.
Lee Morrow.
Lee Morrow was there.
Hugh Beauty.
Beauty and
Ricky South.
Yeah, 3 Australian heroes
Oh, that's right, because there was the spot
and Ricky South.
Yeah.
with bloody Morrow and Dazza on the apron, and they were fighting
Correct.
each other. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is
And then
The
Ricky
ring.
South
Get
took
in
him
the
out.
ring, but-
Ricky South took him out, and then it
happens
was
then.
down to Ricky South and Hugh Beauty. And I don't think you've ever wanted Hugh Beauty to win so much. He got the how's that slap?
If it's not called that, change
Call
it.
It really should be.
The how's that slap? Tried to get Ricky over the ropes. He was able to hang on, got back in, Hugh Beauty went for a springboard crossbody. Ricky South was able to catch him, hold on to him, and yeet him over the top rope to become the inaugural winner of the Terry Campese over the top rope Battle Royal.
The next part, I think, was my favourite part of the Battle Royal.
Was the promo.
Yeah,
well, you did say this at the start. You said about having promos.
Give him a mic, Liam Cook.
Yep.
And
Give him a
Cook-
big fake check. Love it.
Yeah, the big
Love those comedic checks.
$10,000.
Mate, not only did he cook, he burnt the Canberra crowd. Essentially, he was given the option from Sweet Pete that he could either take the $10,000 and run or double it and donate it to the Terry Campese
What a lovely
Foundation.
option that is.
And we all know what any good-willed, amazing human being would do. And Ricky South didn't do that. He ran with the money.
Yeah.
Before that,
Typical Melbourne.
Before that, he said he was running off with the money because he couldn't get out of this city any quicker because it's full of weak, gutted dogs.
Mate.
Straight to the heart for all you Raiders fans, eh?
Mate,
Oh.
I tell you what, when Ricky South comes back, I think he's gonna overtake Dan Archer as the most hated heel.
Could we book a
We don't talk
versus
about-
Ricky Stewart match?
We don't talk about
Ricky
weak
Stewart
gutted
being
dogs,
fat.
and we don't talk about 2019, all right?
Six
Again?
again. Six again.
Oh.
6 again.
When was the last time the Eels won a grand final, Dan?
1986 headshot.
Anyway, so look, I reckon there's a good chance that Victor and Valda might have a handicap match against Ricky
Oh, I'd
South
pay
at
to
some
see
point.
that.
Or Rig. Maybe a tag team match against Rig and Ricky South.
Maybe you can cover the Raiders.
Okay.
Do you have
Okay.
Josh Papali when he retires?
Well, I'm pretty certain that if I can't remember who it is, there's a former Raider who is wrestling. He's a pro wrestler now.
Oh, you mean Daniel Vito?
Yes.
Yeah. He's
in WWE, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
Get him back for a Raiders
We
match?
need him back to face Ricky South and get revenge.
He got drafted.
Zion.
Zion Quinn.
Yes,
Quinn,
Zion
yes.
Quinn. He
That's
got
it.
drafted. and
Okay,
then
we need to add him. He needs to come back and get revenge for Canberra.
nothing.
Look, great fun. Ricky South, I reckon he's obviously going to be spending a lot of time in Slam next year, coming back as a heel. Maybe we could see a Dan Archer face turn and maybe stand up for Canberra.
I don't know if I could cheer Dan Archer.
Oh,
That's
you
a weird-
could. You could.
I'd like to see. I mean, Ricky South is good
Yeah.
between the ropes too.
Just needs to go back to just the moustache, though.
Yes.
No, I can understand why he didn't, because it is a little bit distracting
Yeah,
when
funny
all you
movie.
get the whole time is people going, "Hey, hey."
But crowd engagement, that's
Yeah,
what
but then
it's
it
all
takes
about.
away from his good in-ring work, man. Let the man cook.
We do.
Don't let him sing, let
And
him cook.
we chant to him while he cooks.
We do. Look, he's definitely going to be a big part of Slam in 2024, and he's going to probably be the biggest heel, because you don't go calling us a bunch of weak-gutted dogs and get away with it.
We're coming for you.
So,
You definitely do.
we got on to the main event after this, guys.
Steel cage.
And
Rage in a
wasn't
cage.
the main event.
That was the first question I had when we rocked up.
Where's the cage?
Literally, we walked in and I looked up and I was like, "Where's the cage?"
Well, because we're used to that with WWE and AEW, right? Like you see on the camera and there's a cage hanging above the ring. We got in there and there's no cage.
Yeah.
So we were a little bit perplexed.
We were looking under our chairs and everywhere. I couldn't find anything.
They did a good job. I mean, obviously they were sponsored by a steel company.
Scaffolding,
Scaffolding
something.
place.
Yeah.
So that's
So they
really
put together.
good.
Sorry that we can't remember.
All the lucha minions came out. They were all wearing lucha masks. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming because
Probably
it's up
because
to
they were
wrestlers.
wrestlers, yeah.
But they came out, helped put the ring together. While that was happening, though, they played a video package of the entirety.
Massive video package.
Yeah, well, it was from back in the beginning of Slam, from the inaugural Slam Championship, where
Yeah.
Mikey Broderick obviously was he's the first ever Slam champion,
correct.
and then obviously
2-year reign.
yes, there you go.
Plus reign.
And obviously playing out the fact that we had Luke Watts win the Rumble to have a shot at Mikey Broderick. And obviously Mikey Broderick it was a bit controversial because he grabbed the ropes during that match, during the pin, got the win. But then
Bad about.
Slam board of directors decided that if Mikey was going to start being such a slippery little champion,
Schnee.
then we're going to lock you in a cage with Luke Watts for the championships at Rage in a Cage. So I think obviously this was the highlight of the night in terms of what was most advertised, and for good reason, because I don't think steel cage matches happen very often at independent shows in Australia. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think I'd ever seen one in Canberra.
No,
Definitely not.
Sure.
Definitely not.
Love that.
And it was a real cage. It was real metal.
I was worried at the start when they were sort of wobbling around it a little bit, because we even mentioned earlier in the night that the ropes were a little bit loose.
I think they did tighten them at the intermission. Yeah.
And I was just sort of thinking that, like, we've got to make sure that, like, the cage is put together because we're sitting pretty close. I don't want a cage wall falling on me.
No, definitely not. And I tell you what, there was some good spots in the match where Mikey and Luke both on the top rope slam each other's heads into the cage. Some hurricanranas from the top rope, reversals. Like, it was a good wrestling match.
I was very surprised when Luke hit the shooting star press early.
Yeah.
Like
that was pretty early in the match.
I was like, wow, okay.
I was like, is that it?
Well, the first one he went for, remember, it missed.
He missed, then he hit it.
And Mikey Broderick kicked out of the shooting star press, which shows you how tough Mikey Broderick is, because no one is kicked out of the shooting star press.
Protected,
I think that's, up until now, it wasn't
First kick
protected.
out.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing, because then Luke Watts knew. He's like, well, I'm going to have to up the
He's got
ante.
to go one step higher than the top rope.
Well, he thought,
and what was the only option there?
he thought to myself, if I'm going to beat the top shelf champ, I got to go to
Above.
the top shelf, the top of the cage.
He is now, so he was the hope from the top rope. He should now be the golden age from the top of the cage.
Oh! Bam!
Oh, you got that
The
one, mate.
golden
You got
age
that
from
one.
the top of the
You can have
cage,
that one
Luke
for
Watts
free, Luke, it's all
himself.
yours.
Well, you might have just given away the ending, but Luke Watts, and if you haven't seen it online, you, again, probably aren't an Australian wrestling fan because it's everywhere in terms of videos online. Luke Watts pulled off a moonsault from the top of the cage onto Mikey Broderick, got the pin, 1, 2, 3. He is your new Slam champion. Hell of a spot. And
Beautiful moonsault too, man.
Oh, mate, he pulled it off beautifully.
I was hoping for a shooting star off the top of the cage. That was probably a bit too
I think
ambitious
you're
for my
asking too
part.
much.
Yeah.
We don't want a Brock Lesnar, man. But that's... Oh, but look, it looked awesome, dude. It was such a good spot. A great finish to the night. And, it was a bit tough, too, for them because we'd had such great matches all the way up to that point. I think Slam did really well with their pacing for the whole night because... if they'd gotten that wrong, the crowd could have been really dead by the time we got to that point. So,
Well, especially because it took them 15 minutes to put the cage up.
yeah, it did, yeah.
They didn't have that really good promo package video ready to go.
It would have sucked it
crowd
out of the
live.
crowd. But
And it just reminded you of that feud.
how storied that history is between those two competitors.
Yeah.
Like,
Look, like I said from the start of the show, I'm a big proponent of live promos. I would love to have seen Luke or Mikey to come out with a microphone as they're walking out to the ring to just put the icing on the cake of what that feud was and really get us all ramped up. Or after the match. Would be great to hear from Luke. Like, we obviously... Sorry, my voice is cactus.
Too much yelling, too much chanting.
Absolutely too much chanting. We got to talk to them,
Yeah.
obviously, after the match. And everyone but Mikey, I think, came out. So we pretty much talked to everybody.
He's probably already halfway back to Perth, mate. He was disappointed.
Yeah, he was very disappointed.
disappointing.
But it's good to hear the wrestlers' side of things, of how things are going, how they like the event and stuff. I think it would be really nice for Luke to have just gotten to Mike and thanked everybody and stuff at the end of the night. Get everyone to come back. Because I know they promote the show all throughout the next show. All throughout the night, they've got the QR codes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's all great. But I'm just a big proponent of a live mic with a wrestler.
Yeah.
Let them talk.
Well, in saying that as well, the next show for Slam is on the 3rd of February at the Southern Cross Club in Woden. So make sure you go on there, search it. It is the Rumble. It is the Rumble, which the last Rumble was awesome. So
The
another great
slumble?
show to go and see.
Slumble match.
The Slumble. No, it sounds a bit go to sleep. Slumble. But look, and on that point as well, after
Just let it cook.
let it go. After the event, outside at the merch desk, pretty much majority of the wrestlers were there, all getting photos, signing autographs, selling their merch, having conversations. Absolutely loving it. And, thank you again to the talent that were there. You guys put on an absolutely awesome show. And you all were, super nice and friendly at the front.
Yeah.
I know some of you were a bit like, I want to keep my heel character. But you could still see that there was the appreciation of the fact that all us fans were there. And you were all very giving in having conversations and giving us photos. So thank you for being so awesome with that. And again, thank you to everybody that bought tickets and went along and made the event as good as it was. Thank you to Slam. Thank you to everyone that was involved, really.
Everyone.
The key point for us is support local wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
just
much
do
as
it.
we love watching WWE and AEW and all the massive storylines and stuff, we're going to go see the Elimination Chamber because it's going to be amazing. Local wrestling is a completely different feeling. Like being able to yell chants for the Burns Club, 2902 for Crofty, and stuff for Archer and different things that you fill out. It's such a fun feeling having.
And you can interact with some of these people on social media too, and they will respond. Dan Archer, trust me, if you hit him up on social media, he'll respond.
But even
he will.
You get the signs, and people like Robbie and Slex and stuff will come up and sign the signs for you.
Yeah.
They'll interact with you if you're in the front rows and stuff like that. Like independent wrestling in Australia and local wrestling is so good. And I talk about. I went to the PWA show. I'm really keen to try and get down to an MCW show to watch something in Melbourne.
Well, because Slex is going to be wrestling Buddy Matthews in Melbourne.
To see that.
Which is the week after the Slam show. So
It is.
We might try and go see the EPW show over in Perth.
Well, I think because we kind of fumbled going to that Undertaker show, so we've got the night
we
free.
got night free. So
Man, it wasn't cheap.
No. So I went this morning to try and grab tickets. All that was left was $450 plus.
Yeah. Which I'm not. I love the Undertaker, but I can't.
Not that much, man. Not that much.
But yeah, the main point is support your local wrestling. And I think I saw a tweet, something from Matt Cardona, who we've mentioned a lot, the darling.
Give them water.
Give them water.
Give them water.
Give me water for a second.
Oh, God, here we go.
No, but what Cardona had said was that he now makes more money on the independent circuit than he did when he wrestled for WWE.
Yeah.
And that is because of fan signing events, merchandise, and him promoting himself.
Yeah.
And we saw that with all these wrestlers. Like, look, we got a Slick shirt, we got a Robbie Eagle shirt, I'm wearing a Robbie shirt, you've got a Slam shirt, I know you've got a Slex one as well.
Yeah.
We've got a Slam belt too.
I've got a Dazza shirt too, actually, at home, but I just put on a few kg since I bought it, so
But that's the best way to support these wrestlers.
Yeah.
You go to these shows, you cheer them, you throw your chants up, you make signs for them, and you buy their merch, and that's what keeps them coming back to us, and that's what keeps putting that really good wrestling on these kind of cards for us. You're only going to get these kind of cards where there's good wrestling matches and good stories and stuff because the wrestlers want to come and do it.
Yes.
And if they're getting here and they're getting fan interaction and they're selling merch, they'll keep coming back.
Well, mate, with the event that we just had, I will be absolutely shocked if we don't get a similar event again next year.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Wouldn't it be
around my
something special
birthday
if
when they
that
announce
was
it.
a regular occurrence for
Mate,
us?
I couldn't think of anything better.
Only tip, do it the week before if you can, just because you're
Canberra's a bit empty now.
too close to Christmas. I think some of Canberra might have left.
School holidays already started, so everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people already left that Friday. They're gone. So, but look, that meant that we were able to get easy parking, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Look, overall, I think we all agree, amazing show. Had a lot of trouble getting to sleep when I got home because the adrenaline was pumping so much from such an awesome
Well, I
night.
don't know about me. Maybe I had a few too many cans.
You had
Oh, dude, that's the whole point of being there. Get on the cans.
Getting on
Drink
the cans.
responsibly.
Yes, please.
But seriously,
And
again,
if you're
thank
underage,
you.
don't.
Yes, true. Thank you so much again to everybody involved. Amazing event, broke records, great fun. Looking forward to doing it again. Thank you, Mr. Daniel Danielson. Thank you, Ready Reece. I'm Booker Ted here, Madison Square Garage, around the pool table of relevancy, Down Under the Mat podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment on this video. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify. And Instagram now that we have as well. So make sure you'll see some photos on there from the Slam event.
Don't look at TikTok yet.
No, not yet.
no.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you so much for joining us again. We look forward to seeing you at a local show. We'll see you next time, guys. Scissor me, Teddy! Woo!